Hello and welcome. My name is Brendan Wendell. I'm a charter market technician, and I'm going to be going over some of the technical analysis on the Nifty as well as the Bank Nifty charts. So, taking a look right now, you can see that we've got rally-based rally area of demand here on a monthly time frame of the Nifty. We bounced off that area of demand. Still got lots of bullish pressure, even though it died off just a little bit. This bottom tail shows buying pressure, and the reason why is we couldn't close at that demand. We pushed higher. So going to the weekly time frame, you can see we gapped in that area and had a huge bounce off that area. And it was even weekly demand as well, I believe. Yeah. And had rally, base, rally. Either way, if you caught that long, very nicely done. You can see the RSI stayed above 40, which means we should be able to continue to rally and take out prior highs. Now, the only thing holding us down is the fact that some of the global markets are dropping, obviously due to the things that are happening, Ukraine and whatnot. And this may put some pressure, but obviously the Nifty rallied kind of in the face of the weakness everywhere else. This was kind of a shining light in the world markets. Anyway, looks like it could continue. I don't see any reason why it shouldn't, technically, other than overall we're in a downward trend. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to click that link. We have lower highs, lower lows, so we have just a bounce that's going on. We're basically correcting this impulse down. So if we're going to stall, we might stall at one of the Fibonacci retracements. You can see we already made it 23.6. I'm sorry, 38.2. That's a 38.2% correction of the previous move. And if we're going to see some selling pressure, it might come just a little higher. We have drop, base, and drop as a potential supply. It's very, very wide, though, compared to the move to the downside. Oh, wrong one. So there we go. So you can see that it's going to be typically when you have this kind of basing, the drop should be much bigger than the basing. And it is to a certain extent with that gap down, but not great. So maybe we pull back a little bit more. 61.8% happens to be inside of the zone. There'd be a great shorting opportunity if it goes up there. Now, as this rallies, for it to continue to make new highs, the RSI would have to go above 60. If it doesn't get above 60 as we rally, then we will turn around at one of these fib levels and drop to fresh lows. So going from the weekly down to the daily time frame, we'll get some more detail here. We're gapping all over the place. Got to be careful with that. And we've already had two gaps up. We get a third. That's probably an exhaustion gap. And you got to really be careful because if we do gap up, we're likely to see a quick move to fill the gap. And don't really have anything as far as targets or areas to get in so far other than Fibonacci levels. So just got to be patient and wait. If I drop down to the 4-hour, see if there's any detail there. Not really. I don't have anything. So again, I'm just going to pay attention as we get closer and closer to each of the fib levels. And as long as we don't get above 60, then I'm going to look for selling opportunities, perhaps at one of the fib levels, targeting the move to fresh lows. Because if we don't get above 60, again, on the daily or weekly time frame, especially the daily here, if we don't get above 60 as we try to rally, we're going to break down to new lows. So moving over to the Bank Nifty. Oops, sorry, it's Bank Nifty. Here we go. And once again, I'll clean this up. We'll start off with the bigger picture, weekly. I can even go to the monthly. Doesn't matter. On the monthly, a little bit choppier. It doesn't look as clean as far as demand goes like we had on the Nifty. But we do see lower high, lower low, definite bearish trend. Can't get above 60. And we can barely get below 40. I don't know if we did. Anyway, we're bouncing at this area of demand. We have a drop. Maybe it's a rally. Rally, base, and rally. So we moved in that area. Could not get below 40. Therefore, we bounced. Now, once again, we'll have to see where's this bounce going to take us. Is it going to take us to new highs? Or are we just going to go, so I usually go from the open of the candle there to one of the fib retracement levels. And we've retraced basically 50%, closed at 38.2% of the retracement. So we'll have to see if that's the end of it. If it is, then we impulse to the downside. We continue to go lower. Right now, we had this impulse correction. You can see I stopped in no man's land. So I don't know if those fibs will actually work for us, but if it does, and this is our new impulse down or correction back up, that gives us a downside target of 30,881 and then 28,104. So one of the other things we can do is go down the 4-hour time frame and take a look at where the Fibonacci levels line up on the retracement. If they line up with any zones, they really don't. So this may have been all we get for the retracement. We might be on our move to the downside at this point. So just pick your battles very carefully. We can even drop down to 60. I'm just not seeing any overhead supply that looks very good for entries for shorts. So rather than trying to gamble, we'll look for some better opportunities and just take it with a grain of salt. Overall, this is still bearish. It looks like it's going to continue to push down this week towards those other targets. I think that move up this past week was actually an anomaly, not likely to continue. We don't have enough pressure to do that. So that's what I got for you this week. Keep in mind, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and subscribe. That way you'll be notified when new videos come out. Until next time, everyone, trade safe, trade well, and take care.